So we are going to start by looking at we are going to look at how to name ranges. How do you give name
Okay.
to a range? Yeah. How do you name a range? That's what we are going to look at now. So suppose I have something like staff ID, basic salary, allowance, tax. Sorry, before tax, we are supposed to have a gross, net. Suppose we have something like this. And then we have, let me just put a few figures. It doesn't take much of our time. How do we get gross now? Equals sum of, I want us to use range. B, that's column, that. Assuming tax is 15% of gross. So what's next?
So can you go back to the task? Let me say something.
To the tax.
Task. Okay.
Yes. Okay, so now Okay, we've not gotten net. How do we get net? What do you think we are supposed to do? Gross minus tax, right?
Yes.
What I've done now is anything strange here? All simple, right? Is that right? Is there any strange thing I've done here? I just typed all this. No calculation here. It's only here. This
The
is
gross.
sum of gross is sum of tax and allowances. Tax is 15% of gross. Net is gross minus tax. Okay. So now what I want to do is this. I want us to give names to these ranges. You see, all these basic you are seeing here. I want to call it a name. This is this a range? See,
Yes.
yes. So these are ranges. Okay. So I want to name each of these ranges. We are going to name this one basic, call this one basic. We are going to call this allowance. So allowances, we're going to call this gross tax net. And then we'll use those names for calculation. Okay. So when you need name ranges, sometimes very convenient to do calculations with the ranges. Okay. Okay, now let's start with this one. Basic. So you just go to to name a range, you click on the formula tab. Then you can use this, define name. Okay. You can use define name to name the range. So here you just give it a name, the name, you can call it basic. Then you come down here. Now the scope, we want it to apply to the entire workbook. Okay, so that wherever you call that name, you'll be able to, it will work. Then here is where you specify and just delete that and then highlight the range that you want. Click OK. It's done. If I come to the name box now, you see it's there. If I click on it, it highlights that.
Please, sir, can you come again?
Okay, the procedure, right?
Yes, sir.
The process. Okay, let me delete it. Let me remove it. To remove the name that I've just defined now, I can come to the name manager here. Click on name manager. I select it. Click delete. Okay. All right. So now I said we want to give this range a name. I want to call the whole of this range basic. Okay. To do that, the first thing you do is you go to the formula tab, click on formula tab, click on define name, type in the name that you want to give the range. We are calling it basic. Then refers to, when you come to this refer to section here, You can delete what is there. And then highlight the range that you are naming. Okay, then click on OK. So that creates the name. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So now let's say I want to use that name here. I can use the name here. So let's say I want to find the sum of all this. I can just say equals basic. Sorry. Equals sum. Then in brackets, basic. Now you see it's not working. It's giving me basic, basic, basic. Why? Because it's name that I use here. Because I use name. Okay. All right. So that's one way. There's an easier way that you can use to name all of them at the same time. Okay. So let's do that one. You can highlight the whole thing. You come to create from selection. Then top row. I want to use the top row. Create names from values in the top row. So I want these to be the names of each of the column. Okay. For basic, I want this everything here to be named basic. Everything on this column to be named allowances. Everything on this column to be named gross, and so on. So I choose top row because the names are on the top row. Then I click on OK. So it's done automatically. If you come to the name box, you see all the names are there. Sorted in ascending order of in alphabetical order. Okay. If I click on gross, takes that. If I click on tax, if I click on basic, just like that.
Please, can you come again, sir?
Okay, for this one, Okay, don't worry, I'll take it again. Let me just complete the process and I'll start it all over.
Yes.
Okay, so here now,
That's
you said?
them at the same time. If you want to name
all of them at the same time, yes. I will do it again, just a few minutes. So, okay. Here, you can say equals average of basic and so on. So once you name, this is what you begin to experience. Okay. Yeah, but if what you are dealing with, if they are very large ranges and it's more convenient, then you can use names. So let me take it again. Okay, do you remember how I said you delete? How do I delete the range names that I've created?
Go to define name.
Which of the tabs?
Formula
What?
bar.
Formula tab,
number, yeah.
yes. Yes.
Formula tab.
Go to where?
Defining.
Defining. Defining.
To delete. No.
Name
Name
manager.
manager. Then you highlight all of them.
Yes.
Just the normal way you highlight. You can hold down the shift and use the arrow key to highlight. Then you delete. Click on delete. It's all gone. If you come to the name box now, there are no more there. Okay, so want to take it once again. We are going to name. We are naming the ranges here. In other words, we want all these to be named staff ID. We want all these to be named basic. We want all these data to be named allowances and so on, up to net. So how can we do that? So I said you can highlight the whole thing. Highlight the whole thing. Come to formula, click the formula tab. In the define name section, click create from selection. Create from selection. Then here is asking you where the range names are. In this case, the range names are on the top row. In this selection, they are the top row. The top row is what is bearing the names. Okay. This column is going to be called staff ID. This column is going to be called basic and so on. So you choose top row here. Finally, you click on OK. It's already done quietly. If you come to, can you now see why this is called name box?
Yes, sir.
That's why it's called name box. If you come to the name box, you see all the names are listed here. Normally, the name box, any cell you click, the name box shows you the reference of that cell. Like this is cell N18. If I click here, cell L11, this is cell O2, and so on. Okay, so it has named the ranges for us, and we can use them for calculations. You can say sum of, once you open that, you can even come here and choose, sorry, since we're already in this thing, can come here. It will not, you have to come through this side. You can come to this using formula here and pick it from there. Pick basic there. Sum of, sorry, okay. I'm not supposed to sum up this one. This is sum of basic. This is sum of allowances. This is sum of gross. Sum of, what do you think is wrong here?
Equals to.
Thank you. Equals sum of tax. Equals sum of nets. Okay. In the same way, you can compute other things. Could be average, mean, or whatever. There's nothing you can complete, provided that thing works on a range. Average of basic.
Basic.
Minimum or maximum of basic. Equals minimum of basic. Yeah. So this is how you name a range. Are we okay? Is it clear?
Yes.
That's how to name a range. All right, so that's the first topic we plan to look at today, naming of ranges. How to name a range. To name a range, you can call it a range of cells. How to name a range of cells. So that's what we have looked at now. I do some of these things just to help you to understand that when you are doing your job, always format things properly. Let it look nice. Okay, so next we are going to look at how we can visualize data fluctuation. How do we visualize data fluctuation? What I mean, you can see I've done this one just to show you what we are going to do. You see this data now, okay? Let's assume these are the number of students that register for courses, different courses. So, and we want to see the fluctuation or trends. Trend pattern of fluctuation. Okay, let's say we want to do it row by row like this. It is possible. It's possible to do that. You can try to use this pattern, this or this. This one is profit and loss. This works if some are positive and some are negative. Okay. With this type of data, we cannot really have a negative, but I just put negative there to illustrate it. Okay. We just illustrate how it works. Okay, but actually, ideally, for this type of data, this is a count. Why can't we have negative here? This is counts. It's not, but if you are dealing with profit and loss kind of thing, then some will be positive, some will be negative, isn't it?
Yes.
Some may be positive, so when there's a loss, it's negative. When there's a profit, it's positive. Okay, so is it clear? So this is what we are trying to achieve. So it's either you may want to use this type of visualization or this or this. Okay. So we can do this using what they call sparkline. Sparkline. Look at it here. Sparklines. Sparklines. So let's use sparklines to do this. Okay, so let me delete what's already there. How do I delete it now? How do you think I'm supposed to delete it?
Delete the um, right click.
Right click and then
Clear.
okay, tell me. Right click, yes. There are different ways actually. Yes.
Go to delete.
Delete, yes.
Then you can delete the column, then you delete the row, or you just delete the row.
See, there are different options here. You must know the difference. This first one says shift cell left.
Yeah.
If we do that, it will remove this heading. I don't want it to remove the heading. Let me do it. Okay, sorry,
Yeah.
I didn't select the heading, so it will not. Sorry. It will not. But you know, the point is when you are doing it, it's not the heading to delete. Let me put something here so that you see the effects. You see how it will. Can you see that? See, it has shifted what was there before this way. So before you delete, if you have many other things on the screen, that's why you must consider all that. But if I use clear, you see, it doesn't do that. You know,
Okay.
just say clear all. So it doesn't do that. But if you have many other things on the screen, if you use this shifting method, it will shift some things. And you may not know, it might distort your work somehow. So you must be very careful, especially when you are working with an important, very important
Okay.
document. So clear all is better for a thing like that. But why do I even have to? Why am I even asking you? Normally, if I want to delete this now, I just click on it and press delete. Okay. But I'm asking you because
Yeah.
once you do this sparkline, if you highlight, I'm pressing delete now, it's not working. Okay. It doesn't go. So sometimes when you experience that, just use clear. Come to clear, just clear all. You remove it. Okay, so now let's see how sparkline works. Let's see how sparkline works. Sparkline is used for creating fluctuation pattern or visualizing fluctuation in a cell like this, in a cell, okay? Fluctuation within a range, but you want the pattern to be shown in a cell like this. Okay. So how do we do that? Just click the cell where you want the sparkline to appear. Then you go to the SAT tab, click on the SAT. Then you go to the sparkline section. Choose the type you want, whether it's line, column, or win loss. Let's use the line. Then here is asking you for data range that you want to map.